Hi everyone, welcome to our crochet along for the beautiful pattern of Tree of Life Afghan. We're doing the crochet version, not the knit. This is the beautiful crochet Afghan inspired by Nikki Epstein's original pattern, which is knit. This is just an introduction video to go over how we will be doing the crochet along. The pattern can be found for free on Ravelry, which pretty much everyone already knows, and on lionbrand.com. You'll need to register at both of these sites. It's just minimal info and it doesn't take long. And then you can download the pattern from lionbrand.com. So, download it, print it out if you want. Look over the pattern. But don't worry, you don't have to decipher or understand it. That's what this crochet along is for. And Dawn will have a photo tutorial for us to follow along. And we will have video tutorials here to follow along. We will learn all the stitches as we go, so it will be easy. Sorry. You can use any yarn you want, any hook you want. The thicker your yarn, the bigger the Afghan. The thinner your yarn, the smaller the Afghan. And the smaller your hook, the stiffer and smaller the Afghan will be. And the larger the hook, the larger the Afghan will be. And it will have more drape, which I really like. You'll want to have two sizes of hooks. One larger size for your starting chain, and then one for the rest of your Afghan. And whatever hook you're using for your Afghan, go up a hook size or two for the starting chain. Okay, and that way you won't have that tight bottom part, and then everything else will be perfect. For my yarn, I chose to use, I love this yarn. It is, and I'm not sponsoring for them. I just really like it. Wool-like by Loops and Threads. And I'm doubling up because this is a super fine weight. And I got two skeins and wound them up, and it made this much right there. So that's two skeins of this. And so it'll be a lot easier to crochet with two skeins that way. But this is a number 1 super fine, and it takes a 3.5 millimeter hook. And since I'm doubling up, I'm going to use a 5.5 millimeter hook, or an I9, if you wanted to use the same yarn and double up too. But I'm using a 5.5 millimeter, and for the starting chain, I'm using a 6.5 millimeter. I crochet kind of tight, so I think this will be good. And of course you'll need scissors. Let's see. Oh, I will be showing you how to do this right here. The one in the picture. It's been done every which way under the sun. We're going to do this right here. And we might use this border, or we might use a different border. We'll figure it out when we get there, and let me know what you'll prefer. So this, in this yarn, doubled up, is 36 inches wide, or 3 feet wide so far. I don't know how how tall it's going to be, because I haven't done it yet. We're going to do this together. And of course, I've written all my notes. There have been corrections. Sorry, keep shaking this. There have been corrections done to the pattern, but these corrections have already been added to the pattern, I believe. And I stapled the pattern and I numbered the pages. It has, you know, the gauge, this, which I did not do. It's an Afghan, so. And there's a stitch explanation. I'll show you how to do these stitches. They're not hard. It has a materials list. A diagram key. This looks a little intimidating to me, but it's not. It's really not hard. There's just a lot of information here. That's what makes it difficult. That's the top of the trees. And this is all done in one piece. There's the bottom part of the trees, and there are all my little notes. And the E is end, and the S stands for start. I only have a black ink printer, so I had to label this. The darker rows, those are the wrong side, or the back. And the right side is the odd rows, the lighter colored, and that's the front. But the pattern doesn't start. It goes on to the flowers. The pattern does not start officially until you get to page 8 in the pattern. And it's about halfway down on my page, is the way it prints it out for me. It says Afghan tree panel, and then with larger hook, chain 145. So we'll end up with 144 stitches for each row going up. Okay. And finishing. I don't know if we'll do that. Let me know what you would rather do, what you'd prefer. We're going to do exactly the one that it shows. So it might be, you know, something to put on the couch or even on a twin bed. And I think it's something I might put in the car. That would be nice. For the crochet along, we're only doing one video per week, and it will only be 10 rows per week. So it'll be super simple. If it's too slow for you, you can just wait till we're done, and then just breeze on through it like the expert you are. For the Afghan, it starts off with a couple of rows, and then you go on to the tree part, and then it starts over counting. So for the tree graph, we're going to start over with row 1 and then work our way up. Then you have the divider. Then you have the flowers, and that starts over counting. Then you have the divider again, and then another row of trees, and then the top. But it's all done in one piece. And then we'll add the border. Anyway, I'm excited. And, you know, for much of it, it was easier for me to just make my own little notes. It looks messy, but I will rewrite it for you. And that's just the trees. And those are the stitches for each pair of trees. So that's how far I got. To row 8, we have our row 1 and 2 for the base before we start the trees. Then we have the 1 through 8 for the trees. So that's 10 rows, and that's all we'll be doing the first video. And I can't wait to see you there. If you have any questions, please ask on our Facebook pages. I'll leave a link below, and or here, and we'll answer. All right. Thank you. We'll see you on May the 1st.